Hey everybody, this is Perch. Let's talk about Marvel Armageddon. So, what is Marvel Armageddon? Well, if you read the internet, Marvel Armageddon is apparently the long-awaited reboot of the entire Marvel universe, and it's not that, or at least, yeah. I mean, who knows what the hell it is going to ultimately be? But I think there's a lot of people who are jumping to some conclusions. So let's explain what this is, what news we've heard so far. If you've been hearing about this, I'll explain it. I'll talk about what's been said, and then we can go into what I think ultimately comes from that. And really, these are predictions based on, oh, I don't know, the last 12 years of Marvel's publishing strategy, which is pretty amazingly consistent, actually, when you really work it down. So here's what we know. Armageddon, as it's been announced, is the big 2026 event for Marvel. Now, Marvel's been doing, usually one big event and then two or three little mini events through the course of the year. I think we'll be still getting a little bit of the X-Men, the current Age of Revelation. We'll be getting a little bit of those still in 2026. There is supposedly a Spider event that's happening in 2026, or maybe it's a Spider Venom event, dealing with the Queen in Black, which will be Hela, who is, or Gila, as some people say, but I don't know why. But anyway, she will be taking on some level of mantle or partnership with Null. Anyway, so we have a couple of those, but the big one, the one that Marvel's going to promote, like this year, in theory, they're promoting One World Under Doom, is or Blood Rain the year before that, is called Armageddon. And this time, our head writer is Chip Zdarsky, who I don't believe has actually done a big Marvel event yet. We've seen plenty of others, but Chip Zdarsky has not had his turn at it. And after his world-renowned, stellar sales-raising run on Batman, uh, you know what? I'll just leave that there. Anyway, Marvel has tapped him to write Armageddon. So Armageddon is promising to quote will impact the entire Marvel universe, changing the face of Earth's mightiest heroes in a way not seen since Avengers Disassembled. It's going to launch in June of 26, but there's some things leading up to that, which we'll get to in a moment. So, Zdarsky is currently in Marvel and currently writing Captain America. They relaunched the title with him about 5 months ago, 4 months ago, about 4 months ago, and it's been moving along. And the reviews are a little mixed. It's done okay sales wise. It hasn't majorly moved the needle, but it seems like at least a more focused take on the character. Now, he had a second arc coming, which looked to be something along the lines of different caps in different countries, but now it is going to be really about the rebirth of Shield. There will be a all new version of that, led by Nick Fury Jr., setting in stage a status quo, which are according to them, definitely going to be picked up on in Armageddon. And these comics will actually have some branding attached to them, calling it the Road to Armageddon. There's two series that they're going to do this, but I'll come to that in a moment. Basically, what they've hinted at is that first, as you heard from their kind of 1-2 line teaser there, it's going to change the face of Earth's mightiest heroes. So that means the Avengers. That does not mean the entire Marvel universe. I've seen a couple sites, I've seen a couple YouTube videos, I've seen a couple people saying this is, Marvel's long rumored reboot in action. I mean, it's mainly long rumored because people have been creating that rumor. Marvel's been pretty steadfast that they're not going to reboot, and I've done, people have asked me that question. I continue to say I don't believe that they will. I don't think they're going to do a big ass reboot like the New 52 or anything. It's tempting for them to do it, but currently, I think there's very little chance that they do. But people keep saying like this is the reboot that they've been talking about. No, no, they haven't been talking about. Actually, one thing that is very much true is Marvel has not been talking about a big reboot. That's you. That's the internet that's been doing that. But the other piece there is it says it's going to change Earth's mightiest heroes. So Earth's mightiest heroes, the Avengers, have been kind of in a, I don't know, an awkward state. Jason Aaron did a very long run on the books following his Thor run, where he introduced the Avengers BC and the Masters of the Masters of Evil the multiversal masters of evil. Sorry, it took me a minute with like infinite Doctor Dooms and Baby Thanos and a lot of other kind of crazy shit. And Jed McKay has been writing the series now, and it's not a bad run, but it is a run that doesn't have much momentum behind it. There isn't a lot of hype. They've been doing stuff. They're tied up in a big Kang storyline, but it gets very little attention or air. You did have the AVXVE, the Avengers, Eternals, X-Men kind of event that kind of came and went, but the Avengers haven't had any real buzz or momentum in quite some time. So anyway, we're looking to do something next year that is going to shake up the status quo of the Avengers. The other big the clue that we've gotten is they say it will heavily lean on the origin boxes. So, okay, what are those? Origin boxes came from the Ultimate Universe, and the basic premise is the Maker, that is the evil Reed Richards variant. He collected basically not DNA, but catalysts for heroes, basically stealing their fate and their journey. The box, when used, grants familiar power sets, and this was, we saw that used for the Ultimate Spider-Man to kind of super jump his capabilities. So in just recently, actually a couple weeks ago now, no, well, 1 week ago in Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. This is Miles Morales kind of slipped over into the Ultimate Universe. He, is looking to rescue his sister. He in this event, he basically, told basically he got to tell Reed Richards, Doctor Doom, kind of a little thing that kind of ruined his day, and then he was handed the Iron Lad, who is Tony Stark's son, gave him the origin boxes. Um, so Tony Stark's son, Tony Stark. What? Okay, sorry. This is convoluted as hell. I can already send people in the comments like, whatever. Sorry, this is a mess. Anyway, Iron Lad, who's leading sort of the Ultimates right now, gave Miles Morales a handful of origin boxes, and unless I'm mistaken, I read that comic, but they weren't labeled. Like he didn't. There's like, oh, this one's the Hulk, and this one over here is Iron Man, and this one. I mean, they weren't labeled with powers, but there's some assortment of origin boxes, and he brought them back to the 616 universe when he came back from the Ultimate Universe into the main Marvel universe. He brought these origin boxes back, and these things are floating around now. In theory, they're his, but basically, these origin boxes robbed characters of their destinies. Basically poor Marvel characters, and now they're in the 616 universe. We don't really know what they will do there. Are they going to transfer the powers from one character to another? Are we going to get two versions of a character? I mean, I know it's the Marvel universe, and we've never, ever, ever, ever seen them take a, kind of a legacy character's power set and just randomly give it to somebody else. They've never done this before, so that is sarcasm. So, maybe that's something we can explore. But anyway, so those boxes are going on. We have Armageddon. We have a new Shield showing up in the second arc of Captain America. And then they did announce Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon, which will also be written by Chip Zdarsky. And this is introducing Wolverine goes on the hunt for a missing mutant, basically stumbles across the fact the Weapon X program is still up and going, or at least has been restarted or something. Anyway, it's still cranking out shit. And we have the a kind of revitalized Nuke that is going to be playing into that role. There's a private corporation, no doubt funded by some evil billionaire made to look like Elon Musk, called Prime Warrior, and Nuke has been upgraded and will be going off against Wolverine. This is a first chapter according to the Zdarsky, to Armageddon, and will be essential to whatever this event is. So, deep breath. So what do we know? Well, we know it's a big event. We know it's going to change the Marvel universe forever and ever, as things will never be the same after. That is what they have said for every event, dating all the way back to hell, Civil War II. I mean, every Secret Empire was going to change the Marvel universe forever. Civil War II was going to change Marvel universe forever. AVXBE was going to change Marvel universe forever. Blood Rain, One World Under Doom, they're all going to change the Marvel universe forever. So this one's going to change the Marvel universe forever, but primarily on on the Avengers, on the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers team, no doubt leading to some level of reboot, restart of that title. Maybe it's going to be Jed McKay again. Maybe Chip Zdarsky is going to write a new Avengers series. Who knows? They've got Jed McKay on too many books, so that would probably be a relief if they gave it to someone else. I don't know about Chip. It's kind of weird that Chip Zdarsky is suddenly kind of the Marvel savior to a bunch of series, but hell, why not? I mean, what, what could go wrong? It's fine. I think if you're thinking this is the end of the Marvel universe, then you're reading too much into their hype and their taglines, and you forget that they hype everything this way. So I wouldn't worry about that. Avengers Disassembled was by and large a well received event, and it's remembered fondly in the minds of a lot of people. There is a lot of rumors that Brian Michael Bendis is coming back to Marvel in some form or fashion, so maybe this ties into him doing something with the Avengers, and Chip Zdarsky is just setting it up. Who knows? But whenever Marvel wants to promote some event, they always like point back to the one that did really well. Like, hey, you remember Civil War? Yeah, that sold a lot of copies, and that was a big earth-shattering status quo change. So we're going to do that again. I mean, that's just what they do. I'm seeing a lot of news sites talk about Avengers Disassembled like it was like this catastrophic, never been seen before in comics. And I mean, basically, yeah, they canceled the Avengers after a lot of issues. They cancel things all the time now, so I don't know if that's particularly unique. And they basically said, here is the new, here's here's the new Avengers. And then that comic came on, that became the Mighty Avengers soon, and then we had a bunch of other Avengers spinoffs, and we got more comics out of the deal. So I mean, look, it's not like it's not one side saying this is Marvel Comics finally throwing in the towel. The Marvel Universe are going to finally cancel all their books and give up because they make shitty comics. I mean, good Lord, you're clearly high if that's your take. It's an event. Look, it's a 2026 event. Are you in? Well, I mean, really, should you be in? If you're in because you think it's going to change the Marvel Universe forever, then I have a bridge to sell you. If you like what Chip Zdarsky does and you're intrigued by the idea of this origin box story and how the Ultimate Universe fits into all this, and what could be done, then sure. I mean, unless they defeat the Maker thoroughly and utterly in how the Ultimate Universe is wrapping up, feels like evil Reed Richards wanders back over here to the Marvel Universe, and and maybe we get some of that shit. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to get? But at any rate, are you in? Yeah, if you like events, be in, I guess. That's that's what Armageddon is. And I'm sure we'll talk more about it as it comes along. But for now you know. And knowing is half the battle, although that is a Inner John Universe tagline, technically. Thanks for listening.